Okay, so tools part 2. Now, kind of played around a little bit more with my mood board. I pulled in some little color chips down at the bottom. I changed my image that was that lasso tool to a nice square. I think I like that better. Oh, here we go with that. Now, what I'd like you guys to explore are different fonts, right? So let's just highlight this. You'll see the fonts are really easy. You don't have to go into your drop-down list. They're right up here. You could drop down. They give you examples on what they look like. Let's try Chalk Duster. Maybe I want to change the font size. I think that's a little big. And what do we think? What do I need to do in order to select that? I have to make sure I'm in the right layer. Get in my tool. Maybe I don't like that. Let's go back in and change it. What about Brad? Winter Blues? Nah. Let's make it something simple. What about this one? You know what? I don't mind that. I like that. So now I'm going to leave that. So let's start exploring the text tool and all different kinds of fonts and sizes. I also want you to be able to change the colors, right? So down here I added some squares. I took my select tool, right? I made a rectangle and added it in. I'd also like you guys to explore that one. So let's take a look on Artboard 3, right? If I want to add an image, I need to add a new layer. I'm going to select my rectangle tool and add one, right? I don't like that color. I'm going to select this, right? Now, underneath the appearance, we can get rid of that stroke fill if you don't want the black box around it. I think I like that better, right? So let's leave that there. Then I want you guys to explore changing colors. We come over here, right? You can change it to that. Maybe add that. So let's get used to playing around with fill and stroke and create some images. You can work on a mood board. I just thought that was the easiest thing. So it relates to what we're doing, and you guys can get an understanding on how to do that since we will be doing that in this course. I don't want you doing anything that you're really not going to be using. Would it be great to make a postcard? Fine. I don't mind that either. But I think working within the realm of fashion design is probably the best thing for you guys to get used to this. So let's work on a mood board. What I'd also like you to explore are the brushes. If you go into Window, click on Brushes, all the different sizes and different types of brush tools are going to be all here, right? So let's explore this. I'm going to click on my brush tool and look what happens. I have that little do not sign, right? So what do I need to do? I need to go down to my layers, make sure I'm on Artboard 3, and add another layer. Then I can start exploring brushes. right? I want you guys to get used to a few different ones. Let's work with different sizes, different colors. Let's take a look at this one. We have that. That one really doesn't change too much. So let's take a look down below. Those are our general brushes, right? I don't really see that much of a difference. Oh, there we go. Put it on the blur and you'll get like that blurred line effect, right? So this is what I want you to do. Just play around. Start exploring, start experimenting. I want you to work with different sizes, adding different colors, and you'll be able to get different effects from different things, right? Now think about it. If we were doing an illustration and you were coloring it in and then wanted to add a different layer on top of it, we could make this size pretty small and then maybe add a little texture into our, let's see what color we're doing, onto our thing, right? Why is it? Ugh. I have to make sure I'm on a different layer. Okay? So let's just start exploring with that. You know what we need for that? There we go. This one. So I came across something that was pretty cool. Now, look at these splatter brushes down here. Those are pretty big, right? When I was working in the children's where I would have to do and design a lot of graphics for the graphic tees, and I came across this tool that I think is pretty cool. And once we start working with patterns and bringing them in into our illustrations, I think something like this could be useful. Now a tool can be a brush, but look what else we could do with this, right? So here's my box. If we were going to make a pattern, look what I could do with this. If I press U, right, I want to be able to get rid of that box. You should be able to bring up my fill. But anyway, we'll just go on because I wanted to show you this. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So look how cool this is, right? I'm going to add another layer onto this. And you see this tool? That's really big. But look what happens when I make it smaller. And then I add a tonal to it on top of this. Do you see what happens? Let's just make it a little bigger. You see what's happening? I'm causing distress. And let's say we did a font, right? Or you're adding a pattern onto something. Or Riley, this would be so great for you because you loved the distressed look, right? We could start adding this to our square, and when we get to work with patterns, I'll show you how to save it as a pattern. That's going to become like a really cool distressed paint. And if you put it into a graphic or a design on a t-shirt or maybe even a pattern, that could be something really cool. So why don't you guys play around with all these different tools. I left complete instructions on what I want to see and what I'm expecting from this project. And if you come across anything cool like this, let's share it with the class. Don't forget, you have to add in on the discussion board. You have to show your video just like I'm doing. Don't make it more than 3 minutes. Make sure it's a link, not the file downloaded into Blackboard. And let's start talking and let's start exploring. And I want to see what you guys come up with. All right, have fun with this. Bye.